Hello, how are you doing? My name is Otto and welcome to the channel. A year ago, I did a video about the limitations that we get when we use an Android smartphone on the DJI OM4. And many of you have been asking for an update to that situation. DJI released the new OM5, which is a great smartphone gimbal, but it still has some limitations if you're going to use an Android device. On this video, I want to show you what features you're not going to get if you have an Android versus what you get if you have an iPhone. I am also going to show you a few solutions that I use on a regular basis because I do have an Android as well. On photo and panorama mode on the iPhone, we can use manual controls, and this will allow us to change the shutter speed and the ISO. On the Android, there is no manual mode. For time lapses, the iPhone will let you select the resolution up to 4K, and you can select the video frame rate at 24, 25, or 30 frames per second. You also get manual controls to set the shutter speed and the ISO. On Android, we can also select the resolution up to 4K, but the only video frame rate available is 30 frames per second and there are no manual controls. Last year, I said that dynamic zoom was working fine on iPhones but not so good on Android devices. This year, I'm happy to say that this seems to be working as intended on both iPhones and Android devices. You can select the slow motion on the iPhone, and you can also select manual settings if you need to. On Android devices, you cannot select slow motion on the Mimo app. Probably the main issue for Android users is going to be on video mode. On the iPhone, you can select manual settings so you can change the shutter speed and the ISO. On Android, it's always going to be on auto settings. On the iPhone, you can select resolutions up to 4K, which is the same for Android. But for video frame rates, iPhone users can select 24, 25, 30, or 60 frames per second. On Android, we only get 30 frames per second, and I know, it's really annoying to have this kind of limitation. Now, you need to know that these problems are not exclusive to DJI. Other gimbals have exactly the same or similar issues when it comes to Android devices. And believe me when I say that all these companies don't have anything against Android. And as far as I know, it's actually the smartphone companies that lock most of these features from third-party developers. If you have an Android like I do, you can still use this gimbal. What I like to do is to use the Mimo app when I need to use features that I don't have on my Samsung camera app. For example, active tracking, time lapses, panorama shots, and even some videos at 30 frames per second. When I need to shoot the slow motion or videos at 24 or 60 frames per second, I will use my regular camera app. The gimbal will help making my videos more stable and everyone is happy. On the OM5, some things are going to work and some are not going to work if you use the native camera app on your phone instead of using the Mimo app. What doesn't work is the zoom control, the record button, the selfie mode button, the active tracking, and gesture controls. What's going to work is the joystick to move the camera around, the trigger to set the gimbal to lock mode, to recenter the camera, and to activate the sport mode. And double pressing this button to change to horizontal or vertical mode. The default gimbal mode is follow mode, and if you need to change the gimbal mode, you need to open the Mimo app, go to the menu and select the gimbal mode that you need, and then you can switch back to your camera app. The gimbal modes that you can select are follow mode, tilt locked, FPV, which is POV, and spin shot. I hope that this video was easy to understand, and if you found it informative or useful, please give it a like. Time to go now, but how about if I see you in the next video? Bye!